Deadpool is the newest, highly anticipated comic book movie that is based on the comic book character of Deadpool. This movie has a lot to live up to because the character of Deadpool is so unique. I was super scared that this movie wouldn't deliver because it's the character of Deadpool, and when it comes to movies, has not delivered before X-Men Origins Wolverine. So this movie really needed to be good. Otherwise, Ryan Reynolds would just kind of be at a dead end because it isn't in many good movies anymore. This movie also is handling a very unique character. He's one of the most unique characters in comic book history. If you don't know who Deadpool is, that's weird, but I'll explain it, it's okay. He's Deadpool, he's the merc with the mouth. He talks a lot of smack. He kills people, usually people that are worse than him. He's not a hero, he's an anti-hero in fact. And he breaks the fourth wall a lot. I mean, he's just one of the weirdest and coolest at the same time comic book characters that we've ever had. I have to say this right off the bat, okay? Deadpool is one of the best comic book movies I have ever seen, okay? This movie is perfect. I loved every minute of it. It's made so well, and it knows exactly what it's doing. It knows exactly who its audience is. It knows that you can't make this movie rated PG-13 because this is Deadpool. I feel like if this movie was not R and if it was PG-13, it wouldn't have been right. It's super raunchy, it's over the top, it's so many things in one. It's just so great to see a rated R superhero movie because there's so many superhero movies nowadays where I'll be watching it and I'm like, it's PG-13, I get it. This movie does not hold anything back. It goes the extra mile. It's rated R. It's really good. The storyline is fantastic. Ryan Reynolds was perfect for the character of Deadpool. He did play what they want to call Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine. That wasn't really Deadpool, okay? This is the real Deadpool movie, and Ryan Reynolds happened to actually be a pretty good pick. He's perfect. I love the guy. It's really hard to classify Deadpool. It's so hard. It really is. I'm trying to classify this movie as like one genre, and it's really not. It's a love story, it's a comedy movie, it's an anti-hero movie. It's not really a superhero movie as much as it is an anti-hero movie. And the action sequences are absolutely fantastic. When crap hits the fan in this movie, it's pretty harsh. There's a lot of raunch in this movie too, so if you're not a big fan of raunchy movies, then you're probably not going to like this movie. It's like a Tarantino movie. It almost reminds me of a Tarantino movie. Tarantino movies are really violent. And they're so over the top. They're funny, they're really violent, they have really specific kinds of dialogue in them. And a lot of people I know walk out of Tarantino movies and go, I didn't think all that violence was and all the cursing was necessary. And I'm sitting here going, shh, you just didn't get it. It's not your kind of movie, okay? You just didn't get it. Same exact thing with Deadpool. It's a kind of movie where you have to know what it's trying to do. It's trying to be over the top so much. By far, the best decision that the filmmakers could have done and the director could have done was utilize every single ability that Deadpool has in the comic books, which is breaking the fourth wall, talking a lot of smack and never shutting up, being a careless anti-hero that doesn't care if he's necessarily doing the right thing. He's just going after worse people than him, even though he is already a pretty bad person. And they did that to the highest ability they possibly could. The comedy in this movie is fantastic. And here's the thing about comedy movies too. I laughed more in this movie than I have laughed in comedy movies since 22 Jump Street. I mean, that's just, let's think about that for a second. That's not very good. It kind of says something about comedy movies nowadays. I just don't find comedy movies to be that funny. I really don't. All the new comedy movies that come out today are just raunch for the sake of being raunchy. Pointless jokes, redone jokes over and over again. Poop and fart jokes. I hate poop and fart jokes. I really do. Because sometimes they can be funny if they are utilized correctly. Comedy movies nowadays just throw the same crap at you all the time. And it just gets so boring. I like a comedy movie that brings intelligence to its jokes and makes really smart kinds of jokes. Deadpool does that excellently. Jokes in this movie are so freaking smart. I loved every joke. There wasn't a time in this movie where a joke fell flat. The characters in this movie are fantastic. I don't know the name of Deadpool's girlfriend in this movie, but I'm in love. She's hot. Like, really hot. She's she's something. The only negative I have with this movie is the fact that it utilizes CGI a little too much. But even that, I can't really detract from the overall score and grade of the movie because it's the most comic booky comic book movie ever. They overutilize CGI. It makes it feel almost intentional. It could be intentional that they overutilize CGI because it makes it look very comic book-esque, you know, and it just... I almost feel like I can't really downgrade the movie for that. Essentially, that's almost a positive. So all in all, guys, the characters were great. I loved Colossus in the movie and the X-Men. The jokes were funny. Not a single one of them fell flat. The story is really interesting. There's also not a lot of action in the movie, too, which is not a negative. It's just this movie focuses more on its comedy and more on its characters than the action. I'm going to go ahead and do a rating system out of 100 because I can relate to Rotten Tomatoes more because I rely on Rotten Tomatoes quite a bit. And I'm going to give Deadpool a 95 out of 100. If it was one word I had to describe Deadpool, I would say unique. It's a very unique movie. I've never seen anything like it before. He breaks the fourth wall quite a bit, and I'm just like, this is what a comedy movie is supposed to be. It's just the best comic book movie that I have personally seen in a very long time, since like The Dark Knight or like The Avengers. I highly recommend that you go see it as soon as you get a ticket. The only way I can see you not having fun with this movie is if you don't like Tarantino movies. You don't like a bunch of over-the-top blood splats, then you're not gonna really like this movie much. If you like all of that, you're gonna love Deadpool. And especially if you're a huge fan of the character himself and the comic books, this movie was the biggest apology for X-Men Origins I have seen ever. They trash X-Men Origins in this movie. I gotta give the movie props for that one. Also, quickly, stick to the end of the movie, like after the credits, because there is an end scene, and it's pretty smart. I couldn't have called that one coming. So those are most of my thoughts on Deadpool, guys. Have you seen the movie? What do you think about it? Comment down below. Let me know what you think about Deadpool. And if you're cool enough, press the subscribe button. I will have another movie review up for you guys soon. Don't know what yet, but I'll figure it out. Till next time, guys.